You're welcome, my dear student, in this episode from your program Madrasa على الهوا. Today we have revision for Prep 1. Today we're going to talk about two types of revision of questions. Number one, scientific term. Number two, problems. How can we solve the problems and how can we answer the scientific term? Number one, write the scientific term. The ability to do work, or the ability to do work or to make a change. Yes, it is energy. Number two, the smallest building unit of matter which can exist freely. We have two smallest buildings of matter. Number one, smallest building of matter that can be existed freely or can't be existed freely. The smallest building of matter which can exist freely, it is molecule. But the smallest building unit of matter which can't exist freely, it is atom. We have to have attention for this point. Number three, the number of protons inside the nucleus. Number of protons that equals number of electrons, it's called atomic number. Atomic number. 4, the ability of some animals to change their color to simulate the environment. The ability of some animals to change their color to stimulate the environment, it is the camouflage. 5, the basic classification unit of living organism. Basic classification unit of living organism, it is a species. And it has another term, the group of animals, group of living organisms that have the same characteristics or the same properties, okay, or more similar, it is species. Number 6, the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. Sum of potential and kinetic energy. It is, yes, mechanical energy. We have two types of this question. The sum starts with the sum. Maybe sum of potential and kinetic, so the answer will be mechanical energy. Number 2, the sum of what? Of number of protons, number of neutrons inside the nucleus. Sum of neutrons and protons inside the nucleus, it will be mass number. But the sum of potential and kinetic energies, it is mechanical energy. 7, the spaces among molecules. Spaces among molecules, yes, it is intermolecular spaces. Intermolecular spaces. Number 8, gases that their molecules are composed of one atom only, just one atom. It is noble gases. The answer is noble gases. We know that gases divided into two types of gases. Number 1, inactive gases or noble gases or inert gases. Their molecules consist of just one atom because they don't need to gain or lose electrons, because their outermost energy levels are saturated by 8 electrons, except helium that is saturated by 2 electrons, because its outermost energy level in helium is the same, the first one, just K. So it is saturated by 2. But all inert gases, their outermost energy levels, except helium, are saturated with 8 electrons. So they don't need to give, to lose or to gain electrons, so they are not active. So their molecules consist of just one atom only. Number 9, a change of matter from solid state into liquid state. Again, a change of matter from solid state into liquid state. It is melting. The total number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. Total number of protons and neutrons inside a nucleus. It is called what? This is T, okay, I'm so sorry. Inside the nucleus, so it is the what? It is mass number. Mass number. Animals that is considered an example for structural, functional, and behavioral adaptation. This animal, one species of animals, which can do structural adaptation, functional adaptation, and behavioral adaptation to be more adapted to the environment. Yes, sure it is. Camel. The camel has or collected all types of adaptation inside its body. Number 12. Negatively charged particles of negligible mass revolve around the nucleus. It's related to the nucleus, and we know that the particles inside that the particles in the atom, inside nucleus, protons and neutrons, and outside the nucleus, it's negative, yes, so it is electron. The answer is electrons. 13. Organisms that can't be seen by naked eye. If we want to see them, we must put them in the microscope under its lens so we can see them, because they are very, very small. What are they? And they spread in air, water, and soil. Yes, it is micro from microscopes. Microorganisms. Microorganisms. As Iglina, Paramecium, amoeba. 14. The way by which the heat is transferred through gases and liquids. As you know, my dear student, we have 3 types of ways of transferring the heat through different media. In solid, conduction. In liquids, convection. In gases and liquid, no, it is not radiation. It's not radiation, but it is convection. 16. The ability of some living organisms to be hidden from their enemies. The ability of some living organisms to be hidden from their enemies. Yes, camouflage. The mass of unit volume of the substance. The mass of unit volume of the substance, mass of just 1 cubic centimeter, it is density. 18. The gases which their molecules consist of 1 atom. We answered this question before. Noble gases or inert gases. 20. A group of animals that have 1 pair of incisors in each jaw, rodents. They are rodents. And now, my dear students, I have to revise what are the laws, what are the physical equations related to the problems this year. We have 2 types of problems. Number 1, problems related to density. Number 2, related to what? Not only density, but also mechanical and kinetic potential energy. But first, let's return back again to the question of scientific term, and we go back again to problems. Number 20, a group of animals that have 1 pair of incisors in each jaw, rodents as rats. 21. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but is converted or changed from one form to another one. Energy neither destroyed nor created, so it is conservation law of energy. 22. An alloy used in making jewels. Gold copper alloy. 23. The monatomic liquid molecule. We know that we have 2 types of liquids. First one, whose molecule consists of just 1 atom, and it is liquid metal. It is mercury, the liquid metal. And if the question was the diatomic liquid molecule, it will be bromine. But this, the monoatomic liquid molecule, it is mercury. 24. The temperature at which a substance changes from the liquid state to gaseous state. From liquid state to gaseous state, it is the boiling point. 25. The way by which heat is transferred from the sun to the earth. From the sun to the earth, there are two types of media. Number one, no media, space. Number two, gaseous or gases, the air or the atmospheric envelope. So in atmospheric envelope, I can say it is convection, but it's wrong here. So it is radiation, because the radiation is the way by which heat transferred through space and through gases. It is radiation. But when he asks me about the way of heat transferring through gases and liquids, as I said before, gases and liquid, it's not radiation, but it is convection. But just from the sun to the earth, radiation. And another question, what is the way of transferring heat from the lamp? From the lamp, that means that heat comes from higher to down, so it is also radiation, not convection here, not convection here. But from the heater, sometimes, or I can say radiation, or I can say convection, but here radiation. 26 imaginary places around the nucleus in which the electrons move according to their energies. Imaginary places, we have just one type of imaginary places this year. It is energy levels, K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q. 27. The work done during motion of objects, not only energy, but it is what? Number 27, it is kinetic on data please, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. So again, the work done during the motion of an object, it is kinetic energy, not only energy. 28, the simplest state of matter. Simplest state of matter, sure, it is element. Simplest state of matter, which can be decomposed into simpler one by chemical methods. Yes, number 28, it is element. It is element. 29, it is the amount of energy lost or gained by an electron when it transfers from one energy level to another one. Amount of energy lost or gained by an electron when it transfers from one energy level to another. Yes, it is quantum. It is a quantum. 30. Molecule is composed of 3 atoms, and here he determined them. Number 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Molecule is composed of 3 atoms, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. It is water molecule. Water molecule. 31. The transfer of heat through solids, object from part to another one. Through solids, conduction. Only one way, conduction. 32. A group of living organisms mostly similar to each other in their shape and produce new fertile members, species. A group of living organisms, or it is the basic classification unit of living organism, it is species. 33. It is the main source for the most energy resource in the earth, on the earth, sorry. It is the sun. The sun is the main source. It is the mother of souls and the cleanest type of energy. 34. The pollution produces from the waves of wireless transmitters of cellular phones. It is radiation pollution. Radiation pollution. Question 2, my dear student, problems. How can we answer problems? Let us see here on the data. Number 1, first type of problems, which talks about density. And second, talks about energy. First, density. What's density? It is mass of a unit volume of matter. mass of unit, volume of matter. And we know that density equal mass over volume. And if we want to put them, this equation, inside the triangle, the magic triangle, so it will be here D for density, D capital, not D small for distance or displacement, and M and V. M is up, so it will be up here, and V down, V will be down here, and the D here. If I want to get density, I must put mass over volume. Density equal mass over volume. And if I want to get volume, it will be mass over density. And if I want to get mass, it will be density times volume. Sometimes he asks me to bring or to calculate the mass, and he gave me density and volume, so I must multiply them. Okay? But notice, my dear student, that mass must be in kilogram, not gram here, not gram, just in kilogram. No, yes. Some of you have attention, not kilogram. Yes, it's just in gram. Why? Because volume will be in meter, not in meter, but in cubic centimeter, not just centimeter, but in cubic centimeter. And then it will be what? Gram per cubic centimeter. So don't fall in this mistake, my dear student. If he gave you mass in kilogram, you must change it into gram by dividing it into 1000 to be in or to multiply them in 1000 to get it in gram. If he told you that mass of an object is 1 kilogram, so you must multiply this one times 1000 to get it in gram. So mass must be in gram, volume must be in cubic centimeter. So density will be gram per cubic centimeter. Don't fall in the mistake. Okay, sometimes he doesn't give you volume directly, but he says to you that graduated cylinder contains 100 cubic centimeter of water, and if you put a piece of iron, it will be 110. So what can we do? We must subtraction, or make subtraction. 110 that represented the volume after putting the piece of iron. It represented the volume of water and iron, and minus 1, minus the volume of water, only 100, so we get the volume of iron. And then we can get density by dividing mass over the volume that we get. Sometimes he didn't give you, he doesn't give you mass directly. He says a beaker contains liquid, the empty beaker is 400 gram, and after putting the liquid, the mass of beaker and liquid is 500. So what's density after he gave you volume? So first you must subtract the mass of beaker and liquid minus the mass of beaker, so you get a mass of the liquid, and you can do it. Second, energy. Energy. We know that energy is mechanical energy that equal kinetic energy plus potential energy. What's kinetic energy? Kinetic energy equal half mass velocity square, or speed square, plus what's potential energy? It is weight times height. Weight times height, or height times weight. And weight equal mass times gravity acceleration. It equals 10, or 9.8 meter per second square. So let us see the first question in problems. Number 1, an object whose mass, so I must write mass equal 2 kilogram. Here you can say to me, sir, it's in kilogram, but this question is not related to density. It is related to what? it is related to energy. So mass here must be in kilogram, and velocity or speed must be in meter per second. Okay, not in gram here. Mass in gram just only in the problems related to density, but not related to the energy. So mass equal to kilogram is moving at a speed of 5 meter. So I must write here V equal 2 meter per second. Calculate the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy equal half mass velocity square or speed square, equal half mass times 2 and speed equal here what? Equal 2. But if I write 2, it will be wrong because it is speed square. So it will be 2 square. 2 square means 2 times 2, it will be 4. 4 times 2, it will be 8. 8 times half, it will be what? 4. For what? I talk about kinetic energy. It will be 4 joule. 4 joule. Another question. A piece of iron whose mass, so mass equal 78 gram. 78 gram. Mass here in gram, yes, because he talks about density. Is placed in measuring cylinder containing, so the measuring cylinder that V1 has 40 cubic centimeter of water. So water rises up to 50 V2. V2 here means the volume of liquid plus volume of liquid plus volume of piece of iron. It will be 50 cubic centimeter. If volume of water only 40, volume of water and iron 50, so volume of iron equal volume of water and iron minus volume of water, so it will be 50 minus 40, it will be 10 cubic centimeter. Now he asks about what? Of water. So water, on the monitor please, water rises up to 50. Calculate density. So what's density? Density equal mass over volume. What's mass? 78. What's the volume? 10. So it will be 7.8 what? 7.8 gram per cubic centimeter. By this question, my dear students, we reached the last point for this day. Keep in touch on our page on the Facebook, صفحة رسمية جروب مدرسة على الهوا, and see you next time. And now I have to say goodbye.